Hey everybody, old folks here. So today I'm going to talk about the item choices for tanks. Tanks are probably one of the most needed classes out there outside of the random and rare tankless team. And item choices get argued about all the time. So I'm going to share my thoughts. Obviously, they're my thoughts. Everybody has them. Let you kind of know what I run and why I run them. So let's just kind of start off with who I got in the top spot. Obviously with Jacob, Jacob being a lifesteal class, I don't know why you take anything outside the healing cloak. Some people might run the eternal ice, but I'm going to be honest, since he heals himself, sometimes is on teams with healing, anything else, I'm really going to run the lifesteal cloak, the healing cloak. I'm not going to take the orange one just because I'm not concerned with my armor, my magic resist, compared to what I'm going to get out of this. I mean, 20%. I mean, that's a lot. The burning helmet. I'm not going to use this just because it's. I've seen it used. It's not bad, especially on Jacob, because it removes those silences, those stuns, imprisoning effects, and it does give him a lot of energy. So it can be beneficial to free him, give him his ultimate. He jumps in, he heals himself. But it's a one-time shot, which can turn the tide of the battle. But if you're orange 2 items, you get to decide for yourself. But for me, this is what I'm going to run until I finally get down here and spend a ton of essence to get this to a point where I go, yeah, it's worth it. So let's look at the next one, Chavez. For the majority of people, Chavez is going to be an Eternal Ice choice, just because he's going to get into that middle of the line, sometimes in the back row of the line, and he's going to decrease the attack speed of everybody around him. That's what's going to happen. The regenerating the health in battle, this does not do enough healing. That's not worth it. This isn't worth it. Again, some people say, maybe I should do this, shielding somebody. But again, if you're orange too, you should be able to decide your own decision. So, Eternal Ice all the way for Chavez. In fact, I got a whole lot of essence to spend there. Moving on to Monk Sung. Monk Sung is one of those guys where I see a lot of people run different things. The majority of the time, I'm going to run the shield. Again, it's 10% of most people's health or more. I've ran the Thorny Embrace. I like the Thorny Embrace, but it doesn't get used by the NPC, the computer, until he's almost dead. So I'm going to pop this bad boy because it pops for people around me. So when my team members are getting low, he uses it. So it's kind of cool. I've ran Phoenix Wing when I'm doing actual dungeons, especially things with lots of spiders or stuff. But again, for the most time, this is what I'm going to run. Orange 2 item again. You're orange 2. You get to pick for yourself. Poulon, this is a tough one. A lot of different opinions here for a lot of people. Again, with Poulon, I'm going to put him with the healer. His biggest issue is staying alive, so I want to get as much healing as I can out of him. Some people say, well, let's decrease the attack speed even more. Again, he's not getting to that back line, so for me, it's got a short reach. Most of the damage isn't coming from the tank, so, I'm usually going to stick with that. The golden apple, that is having a percentage chance to not be stunned good. Well, sure, or silenced, or in these others, yeah, that's great. But for me to get this to plus 13 is going to take a lot. Way down the road, again, orange 2. If you're orange 2, you can make your own decision. So for the majority of the time, I am going to run the lifesteal cloak, or the healing cloak. This one's probably the harder one for me. Tardus is not a true tank in some ways. Most of the items that he has, I'm not maxing out because most of my other tanks don't use it. You see, I've got armor increased. I could use the dragon whistle for the shield. I could use this one to do some damage and regen some health. The penance belt is worthless. Thorny Embrace wouldn't be bad. And finally, again, if you're orange 2, you can make your own decision. So it really kind of comes down to yourself. Do you want, more armor, or do you want to have a shield, kind of thing? So the shield's 3,000. The armor's, probably go here. Next hero, Sizo. This one has so many options. People argue about this day and night. The orange 2 obviously is your choice if you get there. Some people like this for the quick start of the battle, for the attack speed. I personally like the stun, the fact knowing, especially if you get this maxed, he's going to be stunning people on a regular basis. And those stuns can change the tide of the battle. Yeah, so I like it. And Sizo is really a preferential choice. If you haven't got to orange, you'll see some people go there. I don't think the armor penetration is really, it's not bad at 6%. The shield for me just isn't worth it. And that regen is just not, I mean, 4,000 health isn't bad, but I don't know. I prefer the attack speed or something else. Where in my case, I'm using the stun. We get here to Nezna. Nisa, however you want to say his name. Again, because of the self-healing, I'm going to use the cloak. I've tried running it with the frost whale. I don't know if I like that one over this one, but I do like the 20% increase to heal, and it heals him for a ton. So survivability for him is really good. I go back and forth on those two. But this is my main choice. This is kind of my... I'm playing around, seeing what I want to do. Obviously, this makes a secondary target. It's not doing a ton of damage, but it is drawing some shots, so it does kind of help. Ceely, I'm going to run this for the most part. I've ran this before because of the fully charged. Heals myself, you know, and all these things. Increases the healing everything. It's kind of one of those things where Ceely's, again, you know, I could do that golden apple, I could do this, I could do that. It's really up to you. These are probably my two, three choices, but it's going to go between these two and who I'm facing. Obviously, if I'm facing a magic team, I'm going to swap it to the healing cloak. If I'm facing a non-healing team, I'm going to probably go to, or a non-magic team, I'm probably going to go to that to help against them. Kaiser. Man, this one is always the tough choice. Do I want the magic resist and ability power? Well, I love magic resist on Kaiser. Or do I want to go here with a Thorny Embrace? I ran this until I hit orange 1. I hit orange 1. I went here. Obviously, if I hit orange 2, you know, we'll probably end up going there. But this is, for the most part, probably what I'm going to run. Obviously, I'm getting 45 more magic resist. I'm getting 301 ability power, which isn't bad. So that's kind of what I run. I'm not going to worry about that. Smoke. There are so many debates on this one. What do you want to do? And it usually revolves around these two early on. Do I want to have the extra chance for lifesteal when I get low, or do I want to have the extra chance for crit? Problem is with this is it activates it so late you may never get it off. But it really does go down to both of these. You know, you could have this to remove stun, silences. It's great against, like, if you're facing a Teresa on the back line, to remove that from yourself to allow you to catch your skills. It really is kind of your choice as to which one you want. I don't know. It's your choice. Eventually, of course, Wings of Origin. You hit orange 2. That's what you're getting. That's what you're maxing. At that point, it doesn't matter. Loria, the majority of people are going to go here with the Scepter of Life. Comparatively over this, they're not going to run that. Not going to run that. And if you're orange 2 again. So the Scepter of Life for Loria is, for the most part, what's going to be ran. Yuan, a lot of times you're going to see the attack speed, because his job is to get to the back line. Back lines where all your people shooting, casting, doing stuff like that. So you're decreasing the attack speed. Outside of that, you know, again, Luffy of War, I've seen a few times, but what you're really shooting for is the Wings of Origin. You get to Wings of Origin. Heaven forbid you build a team with Wings of Origin. You get the picture? Yeah. Wings of Origin. You destroy everything right at the start of the battle. Down to Uther. Uther here, for the most part, again, you're going to do the Scepter of Life for the majority of the time. If you get to orange 2, you can pick it yourself, but that's what he's going to run. This probably is the harder one, in the sense of the golden armor is not going to do anything. The Eternal Ice isn't bad, but you have limited range with Spar. which leaves you again here golden apple. That's always nice, but what you really want to hit, the Wings of Origin. So until then, the majority of the time you're just going to run Eternal Ice or the Whistle. Again, that's giving you a shield, a little bit of health regen. Lee's another one of those guys. You're going to probably have the Sebastian shield on until you get to the Frostwell. At that point, you're running between the two, either the Sebastian shield or the Frostwell. Again, you get to Orange 2, you can make your own decision on that. Malachi. Man, I hate this guy. I really do. But most of the time, it's going to be the Dragon Whistle. Some people will run the King's Blade for the little bit of extra damage until they get Orange 1, then they'll run that. But usually it's between these two just because the Penance Belt isn't any good. Kind of going from there. Bedivere, again, majority of the time you're going to again see the Sebastian shield. You know, you're just going to add that extra ability power and attack damage if the shield lasts, and otherwise you're going to give them 10% or more of their health, which, I mean, is awesome. You know, right now he's got 35,000, 50,000. I mean, he's 20% of his health plus. And I just exited out like a fool. Last person on my list that I have, Leon. Leon here, I'm going to run, again, probably the Whistle or King's Blade. Kind of going from there on that. Gerber, on him, I'm going to run the Scepter because he's going to have the Scepter. And Charon, I can't remember what Charon has. I'll have to look that up and do a specific one for him. But again, it's probably going to revolve around the same thing. I'm either going to do a shield of some sort or a Scepter giving me life. Something like that until I get to the very end and get to choose between my items. I hope that helps. If you guys got any comments or thoughts or questions on what items for a tank, please feel free to leave them. And I hope this helps you guys out as you make your decisions for what to level up. Talk to y'all later.